Today we're going to be tying up a hairwing salmon fly known as the Editor. So this was a fly devised by the editor of the Trout and Salmon magazine and can work well for salmon, sea trout, dolphin, and I'm sure it's done well across the world. So the thread I'm using fluorescent white thread. The reason I'm using white thread is because traditionally you would have used a white floss body, but for this size of a hook I'm grand using white thread. And I'm going to also substitute the rib. So normally you would use fluorescent green or fluorescent yellow amnesia, which is like a fluorescent monofilament. I'm going to just use fluorescent white floss as I don't have it, but I have another reason. I have a way to make up for it here. Okay, so I'll just continue to build up that body a little bit just to hide the black and give a good white underbody. And the reason for that, so we're going to be using a pearl body. Okay, so this is just your pearl here. Probably use Mirage if you wanted to. And I'm going to just use the weight of the bobbin to screw that in underneath. And again, as I wrap down, I'm going to continue to cover up those black pieces. Black on the pearl can give a nice colour as well, but it's not intended for this pattern. Okay, as I come to the bottom, just going to get a ever so slightly small section of super glue. And the reason for this is to stop the tinsel sliding. Okay, so I just work that up the body. Don't have to be too flat, as I'm going to stretch the pearl into this anyway. Okay, then making sure you don't lift your rib. I just bring that pearl over, and in touch and turns, just create that shiny pearl body. As you're doing that, you can actually stretch this is Semperfly, so it's a handy one to use. It stretches really well, so any wee lumps and bumps it kind of hides anyway. Okay, so just continue this up to the head of the fly. Then once you're finished, just a few turns to secure that in underneath. Okay, and then we just trim off our excess. Right then, this is where it's a wee bit different. So I'm going to use this fluorescent yellow. I've got two sections here, I've doubled it up. I'm just twisting it here. Okay. And then this is going to act as our rib. So I'm going to do a couple of turns just at the butt here. Okay, and then I'm going to continue to keep twisting it in the same direction. Okay, and I'm going to just bring that up the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably do 6 turns here because this is quite a long shank hook. This is a size 8 M2 hook. Okay, a few turns to screw that in, and just trim off our excess. Just need to think that there's any wee bits of fray floss, but looks good to me. Okay, so that floss is quite vulnerable, so what I want to do is I'll put a wee bit of varnish over it. So for speed I use Rimmel 60 seconds. Okay, so while that was drying, I changed the thread to black thread. I'm going to use the Hackle for a fly. So the Hackle of the fly is blue and it's rooster. So I'm going to just wax my thread. What I've done is I've broken the tip off the Hackle. I'm going to just tie in at that break a few turns, and I'm going to draw those fibres back and a few other turns, and that'll give a very secure hold, doubling up the stalk. Okay, then I'm just going to use the scissors and just a blunt end, Just run those along the stalk. Okay, and that'll help double those fibres inwards. And then we're just going to start tying in our hackle. Any fibres going forward this stage, don't be worrying, we'll get them later on. Okay, I'm going to just remove what I think will be the excess of the next wrap and continue to wrap it round. Okay. And just cut off the excess. Draw anything going forward back. I'm also going to draw down a little bit of the fibres here. So I want to make space for the wing here, so I'm going to just draw these fibres down a little bit. And I'm going to tie on top just a couple of turns, so that'll just get a bit of space for the wing there. For the wing, I'm going to use, you could use any black hair. I'm going to use black fox. I'm going to take off a section here. And like all hair wings, the length is entirely up to yourself. Some people like it the end of the hook, some people like it shorter. A lot of people even like it twice the length. It's entirely for yourself and for your circumstances. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove a lot of the guard hairs here. And then holding at the tips and remove the underfur. You can see how bulky that would have been with the underfur. You can keep that for your dubbing if you want. For another fly, but just keep on drawing out that underfur. Okay, I'll continue to. I'm going to just twist towards the end here just to give a wee bit of a taper to the wing. Okay, and then I'm going to have this to the end of the hook. Okay, so I'll just set it in where I want it. Then swap over hands. Just use a pinch and loop. Secure it in. A few turns and have a look. I'm happy with that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my excess just for an easier cut. Then I'm going to lift it. I'm trying to cut it all off in one go. Okay, then neaten things up. Okay, then the final thing we need to do is add on our jungle cock eyes. So I'll put these just slightly below the wing on both sides. A few loose turns first of all, just to make sure I'm happy with the positioning. Okay, I'm happy on that side, but I'm not happy on this side. Okay, so now I'm happy. I'll just get another small bit of super glue and just put on about a centimetre of the thread. Just check you're happy enough again, and then just start making those wraps. Okay, 4 or 5 turns will be enough to secure it, and then as it's drying you can start cutting off the excess to give a nice neat head. Okay, while the super glue is still a bit tacky, you can continue to build your head. Add a few wee fibres of fox coming through, but I'll neaten those off afterwards. And then I just want to whip finish. So, however many turns you want to do. And then that is your editor salmon fly, folks. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, do check out the other photos coming up below, or coming up on the screen. Until next time, thanks very much. All the best.